Hey, what's up guys? This is DarkArmedAlliance, and today I'm going to be doing a follow-up video of a DDD deck profile following that video of me opening and reviewing the new Pendulum Domination, or Pendulum, yeah, Domination in English. I was trying to remember what it was in English. But let's get into this deck profile and see what I'm playing in my DDD deck. So let's see here, guys. So first off, as always, we're always going to play 3 copies of DDD Oblivion King Abyss Ragnarok. He is probably one of my favorite DDD monsters just for the badassness of the picture, but he has a wicked effect, and let's move on, guys. So we're going to play 2 copies of Thomas. The reason I'm only playing 2 copies of DD Thomas is because it starts... he makes your good hands really, really good, but he can make your bad hands really, really bad. He can make you brick because he's a pendulum for 6. But he's pretty darn good if you can get out him and a Cal Yuga, or you make Cal Yuga plays, which is this guy, with him pretty easy. Now, I don't play the trade-in engine, so that's why I'm only playing these guys right here. And then I play the 1 copy of Orthos. Everybody else is playing 1 Orthos, so I was like, well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It really does help with a little bit of spot removal, getting rid of one of your dark contract cards, and then so you don't burn yourself for 1,000, and then on top of that, popping one of your opponent's cards. And if you can get this out in maybe a Kepler, you can Pendulum summon for a very high number, which sometimes I've drawn into Orthos and then had maybe these 2 in hand and then drawn into a Kepler or Gates for a Kepler, and then I will Pendulum summon both of these guys out and go for Cal Yuga, and then my opponent's like, well, shit, what am I going to do now? So then we play 3 of the Foolish Burials of the deck. A lot of people I've seen some people play 2. I really like 3 because it can send your Necro Slimes to grave, which can really make for a awesome play. He is a Pendulum 1, which is really nice, but the thing you have to watch out for is he has 0 attack and defense. So he makes him a big target, a really big target. But with Lamia, you can go into Hyper Librarian. If you normal summon this and then send maybe your Gates or a Pendulum card like a Kepler from your Pendulum Zone, or any of these Pendulum monsters, from your Pendulum Zone to the graveyard, special summon your Lamia, and then Synchro for your Hyper Librarian at the beginning of turn before you're all going to do all your shenanigans. And when you normal summon this, if you send to grave Necro Slime, like I said, you can fusion summon, which lets you draw a card if you have your Hyper Librarian on field. So that's just a really quick combo with that guy. And then we play 3 copies of Kepler because it's our Gate Searcher. It lets you add 1 dark contract from your hand. Something to keep in mind about Kepler is that every one of your standby phases, his pendulum scale decreases by 2. So you're going to get 1 really good pendulum off of him. And that's about it. Maybe 2 if you're not going for 8. But usually I'm going for 8 when I'm pendulum summoning. So then we're playing 3 copies of one of the best cards in the entire deck, and that is 3 copies of Swirl Slime. With Swirl Slime, you can fusion summon by sending it and another DDD monster or DD monster to the graveyard to fusion summon from your hand or field, which is amazing. Now, you can only do it once per turn, but there's some serious shenanigans with this card. One of the other really awesome cards is DDD Necro Slime. This one, if it's in your graveyard, you can fusion summon basically a Miracle Fusions from grave, which is pretty wicked. Usually you'll go into Genghis or Beowulf with this guy, but other than that, you won't go into Oblivion Wave King Caesar Ragnarok or whatever the hell it's called. Then we play one of the really, really new cards, and that is 3 copies of Lamia. It's kind of adopted that Plague Spreader-ish ability where it gets a special effect, special summon itself, and then it banishes itself later. It really goes for wicked plays because it is a number 1, or it's just a star 1. Its effect is that you send a DD or a dark contract from your field to the graveyard, or from your hand to the graveyard. I believe it's from the hand to the graveyard. If this card is in your hand or graveyard, you can send 1 DD or dark contract from your hand or face up on your side of the field to the graveyard, and then you special summon it. But when you special summon it, it's banished after that, which isn't a really big deal because you're going to go for your big play with it. And then I'm going to play 2 tech cards. They are the same tech card, and I want you guys to comment down below and tell me what you think it is. I will flip it over in about 3 seconds. So here we go. Tell me what it is down below. Comment down below. Tell me what you think it is, and we'll come back in just a second. So 3, 2, 1. Here we go. So it is 2 copies of Raiden. Okay, so this is a little bit of a surprise. I am having... I play this for a reason. It is a lure target, and I can beat over this so damn easy with Yugioh or spot removal with Dark Contract with the Witch, or just really easy plays just to play past it, that I can just get rid of it from my opponent's field. And I can, if I'm playing against a Zodiac player and I just give him this, it ends it. Like, it doesn't end it, but it allows me to OTK so much easier with this deck. But that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get into the spells. We only play a few traps, so it won't take too much longer, guys. So, first off, we're going to play 1 copy of Raigeki for that board wipe. We're going to need to see a little bit more of this now we have Zodiacs playing, where we need to just board wipe them and get rid of all their stuff. I mean, I know they have good recoverability, but, you know, we need a little bit more spot removal in every deck. 1 copy of Upstart Goblin, because it's our draw power, part of our draw power. 1 copy of Foolish Burial, so we can send those Necro Slimes to grave and our Lamias to grave. 1 copy of 1 for 1, so we can grab our Necro Slimes and our Lamias. 2 MSTs. Now, the reason I'm playing MST over Twin Twister in this deck, and by all means, if you want to play Twin Twister in this deck, and you're experiencing a problem with MST, go for it. Play Twin Twister. But the reason I'm playing MST is because if you play MST in this deck, you're not going to discard all your combo pieces. However, it can come in handy to discard Necro Slime or Lamia. Sometimes I don't want to. So sometimes I play MST, sometimes I play Twin Twister. It just kind of depends on what you want to do. But right now I'm playing MSTs. And I do have Twin Twisters. I'm just enjoying MST and not discarding my combo pieces because I like to go for big plays. Then I play 2 copies of Dark Contract with the Swamp King. Basically, this is a polymerization. That's pretty much all it does. And during your standby phase, you take 1,000 points of damage. It's pretty neat, and it's really nice to have. I think in the previous video I said you don't really need it, and then I started playtesting the shit out of this deck, and I realized you need these. Some people play 1, I like 2. Since I'm not playing Desires in this deck, because I'm just not a big fan of paying 90 bucks for Desires, and plus I just don't like Desires, I never have, I play 2 of these. So then we play, and you don't really need it in this deck with all the damn searching. Then I play 3 copies, speaking of searching, of Dark Contract with the Gate. This lets you add 1 DD monster from your deck to your hand, which is really, really nice. Yeah, you take 1,000 points, but it's once per turn that you can add it. So it's during your main phase. You can add 1 DD monster. It is once per turn, so don't sweat it. And then we play 3 copies of Allure of Darkness. Allure of Darkness is a wicked card in this deck because the majority of it, like everything in here, is dark. And yeah, that's why I don't play Twin Twister, is because I play 3 Allures. Is so I'm banishing my stuff with that, and I'm not discarding them with this. So I'm only hitting it possibly 3 times that I need to get rid of them. And I don't really want to banish a lot of my combo pieces. Some of them will be good in grave, but they won't be good banished because it's not going to do me any good that way. And that's it for the spells. So let's get into the traps. And we don't play very many traps. So I'm going to play 1 copy of Solemn Warning because I don't own a Solemn Strike. I was proxying them, but I didn't figure if I was only proxying 1 card in the deck, I didn't really want to pull it out. So if you want to pull out your Solemn Strikes, by all means play them, or D-Barriers. That's why I didn't pull out my proxy for Solemn Strike, is because I was going to say, this is whatever you want it to be. If you want it to be a Solemn Warning, be a Solemn Warning. You want to be a Strike, be a Strike. If you want to be a D-Barrier, let it be D-Barrier. This is your floating trap. Then I play 1 copy of Vanities. I find Vanities to be very helpful, because once you establish a board, your opponent's not going to hit your cards, and you're not going to want to send them to grave. So you're going to just Vanities act on the next turn during your opponent's main phase, and then it's going to be over with. Then I play 1 copy of Dark Contract with the Witch. Dark Contract with the Witch is really, really wicked, because once per turn, you can send 1 DD or Dark Contract from your hand to the graveyard and target one card on the field and destroy it. So it's a spot removal, and it's really good because it's discarding what you need when you need it. I know, like I said, I don't play these, but whatever. And it's searchable too. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get into the extra deck. So first off, we play one copy of DDD Duo Dawn King Cal Yugioh. Now, I love that name. He's essentially a cold wave. That's pretty much what he does. And Heavy Storm as well. That lets you reset one of your dark contracts, which is really nice. Then we play one copy of number 38, Hope Harboring Dragon Titanic Galaxy, which is probably the best rank 8 in the entire game. Yes, I know, I'm proxying it still. Not paying 75 bucks for one. Not gonna do it. But I'm playing one copy of Crystal Wing. You need to get Crystal Wing out in this deck because it's so damn easy to get out Crystal Wing. Just about everybody knows what that does, so we'll move on. One copy of Omega. I wouldn't be surprised if this guy gets hit. But for now, we're playing one copy of Omega. If he does get hit, play Void Ogre. Void Ogre is my personal preference to play over this, because with Void Ogre, you can synchro away with Lamia and Alexander, and then go into Void Ogre, and then you're going to empty your hand, and then you're going to be able to negate stuff with Cursed King Siegfried. Siegfried is pretty much a Shein. He targets one face-up spell or travel on the field, and during either player's turn, you can target it, and then negate its effect. So you can negate Twin Twisters, he can negate anything that's Speed Spell 2. He can negate it, which is nice, as long as it's not like Skill Drain. Then we play one copy of DDD Gus King Alexander, which is one of our big combo pieces. His effect is if another DDD monster is normal or special summoned to your side of the field, you can target, while you control the face-up card, except during his damage step, you can target one level 4 or lower DD monster in your graveyard and special summon it, which is usually going to be Lamia, because then you're going to synchro him away for your Cursed King Siegfried, which is wicked awesome. Then we play one copy of Meteor Burst, which he lets you special summon a monster from your Pendulum Zone, essentially. Then we play one copy of Hyper Librarian, which is, since we're special summoning so much anyways, we might as well play something to refill our hand. One copy of Formula Synchron. He lets us draw a card, and he also lets us go for some other synchro plays fairly easily. If you can somehow get out Formula Synchron and your Librarian, you can synchro them together to go for your Meteor Burst, because he's our generic. And then if you have Lamia and Grave, you can synchro the Meteor Burst away, which I just spun that away, which is pretty damn funny. You can synchro your Lamia away to go for your Omega, which is very nice. Or synchro it away to go for your Crystal Wing. Then for the fusion cards, we play one copy of DDD Wave Oblivion King Caesar Ragnarok. Damn, that's a mouthful. The only way that you can actually get him out in the deck is by fusioning him with Oblivion. I believe it's Ragnarok, King Ragnarok, or whatever his name is. That's the level 8 main deck one. This guy. That is a DDD main deck monster. And then your other DDD extra deck monsters with Forbidden Contract, or Dark Contract with the Swamp King. And then we play one copy of Beowulf. During your standby phase, he's a Heavy Storm, and he lets all your DDD monsters inflict piercing damage. One copy of Oracle King D-Arc, which is really, really nice. It lets you can make him with Necroslime, or make her with Necroslime, and any effect damage that would inflict damage to you, you gain that instead. So all your Dark Contracts make you go up instead of down. Then probably the best card in the extra deck. Some people play less. I play 3 because I go into them quite a lot. Genghis. DDD Flame King Genghis. His effect is really wicked. If a DDD monster or DD monster is special summoned to your field while you control this face-up card, you can target one DD monster in your graveyard and special summon it, but you can only use that once per turn. It's really, really wicked, because if you go into him and then you special summon any DD monster, you can special summon one from Graveyard, which is really, really good. But that's it, guys. That's it for the entire deck. I hope you really enjoyed that. I'm really enjoying playing this. I think right now it's tier 1. I mean, when Zodiacs came out, it kind of lost a little momentum, but I still think you're going to see some tops of this deck at some YCSs, maybe not YCSs, but regionals. You'll see tops with this deck. It's really consistent and it's really good and it's very combo heavy. You got to know when to stop the combos and when to hit them. But that's it, guys. I hope you really enjoyed that. Don't forget to join Dark Armed Alliance down below. And this is Dark Armed Duelist, and I'll see you around. See you later, guys.